The new sound of Nova in 2023. Ben, Liam and Belle from 6am.
Take us this. A couple of Adelaide legends are joining us as a part of Nova's all-new morning lineup. This is huge.
From 7am, meet your newest mates.
Introducing Jodie, and Andrew Hayes.
Hey,
my friends.
Ben, Liam and Belle from 6, Jodie and Haysey from 7. More fun, more laughs. It's the new sound of Nova,
And it all starts now.
Yes, good morning, Adelaide. Welcome to Tuesday.
Good
It is
morning.
10th of January.
I was just regaling the team here, EP Sean and producer Zoe, about an incident that happened on the street yesterday when you and I went to get a coffee after the show. There's this poor girl, and you know when you trip in the street and it's mortifying, you look around quickly to see if anyone saw.
And you turn it into like a slight jog like you're meant to do it.
So she's tripped and fallen over right in front of us, and instead of letting it go through to the keeper, what noise did you make?
It's just a reactionary sound where you go, oh! Which I don't think helped her confidence in the situation.
No, because she was like fully dressed in a suit and the heels and the whole works anyway. How are you?
Yeah, going very well, thanks. Back for another round this morning. So, look, this is very much a football mentality here at Nova 919. We'd like to take it one day at a time.
No.
Not look too far ahead and give full credit to the boys.
Yeah, and it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Of course it is. It has always been a marathon, not a sprint. Unless you're the corpse flower.
Where it was a 48-hour marathon, wasn't it?
I would say it was a 48-hour sprint.
We were just curious as to why the people of Adelaide thought, you know what, we're going to line up for 2 hours and go and get a real good hard whiff of this flower. So we gave it a run yesterday. Gave it
It's
a
an
run or a
Adelaide
run?
thing.
Oh, God.
We gave it a nice solid run. And look, can report as well that 48-hour window is done where the corpse flower is really going hard on itself and just releasing everything it could. When we left yesterday, it was pretty much done, and the corpse flower was smoking a cigarette. It was lying back smoking a cigarette.
And it was texting the pollinator just going, oh, mate, that was great.
I'm done. I am done. Give me a 5-year spell. That's what it said.
I've given it all I've got.
I've given it all I've got.
We're going to reveal just how bad that particular flower smelt
Yes.
during this morning show.
Yes, and we did put a video up as well
we did.
on Instagram at Nova919, so you can check that out. But look, if you've been down there and had a bit of a whiff, then
Yeah.
get involved with the show this morning. Send us a text, 0400 919 919.
In fact, morning 2, we are welcome to all of your feedback about how we're tracking.
Yes.
Nice feedback, obviously. Don't call in and say we're crap. So we won't take your call. We'll carefully vet you.
Don't let the age fool you. Jodie's part of the new generation where they crave feedback, but it has to be positive. And if there needs to be something negative, then it needs to be inside a compliment sandwich.
Exactly right.
13 24 10. Big shout out as well to our good friends at What If. Make up for missed holidays with whatif.com for all kinds of places to stay on your next getaway. Just jump on What If app. What If? It's Aussie for travel. Speaking of travelling,
Oh, geez, up next.
sure that Harry's going to be travelling back to England anytime soon.
Boy, oh boy. Last night it was just bombshell after bombshell. Harry did a couple of tell-all interviews. We're really going to drill down on what he had to say about the royal family next.
He had a bit to say. Top of 33 across
Some real
Adelaide today.
feedback. It wasn't positive. I'll give you the big tip.
Jodie and Haysey on Nova. Good morning.
Hey, I'm about to reveal something about my house that shocks most people when I tell them. So I live adjacent to I'm going to say brothel.
Oh my! What do you live in Fishwick in the ACT? Like you live
No, I live my suburbs it's eastern suburbs. It's pretty nice.
next to a brothel.
Next to a brothel. So effectively we share a laneway. So if you open up my garage and you look across the laneway, there is the car park to the place where a lot of men go to get a special massage.
What sort of massage?
It's just an extra friendly one.
I've got a calf that I can't quite get right. Could they get it right?
I don't know. I don't know if they studied remedial massage at TAFE. I don't
Right.
think they did.
I don't pick up clues, so maybe this is an off-air chat.
Also, you can get them to have a look at it.
I'm just going to go, what are you looking for? Well, I've had this dicky calf for 6 weeks now. I've tried everything. What can you do, ladies?
We're going to do something that's going to make you feel real good. That's what we're going to do.
So I'll be able to run from tomorrow? No.
So Anyway, the other night, it's midnight, and I'm lying in bed, and the girls finished their shift. And I think what they've done to reward themselves, much like they reward their customers, they've had a few drinks to go, hey, we're breaking up for Christmas.
Girls got their hands dirty. Got to reward yourself with a couple of beverages. Good stuff. Also, it's close to Christmas.
Yes, so they've had a couple, and they were standing out my front gate, and I've woken up just to hear them cackling with laughter, top of their lungs, just giving it the, nah, you're the queen. Nah, you are. Nah, I love yous. Like a bit of that sort of vibe.
Sure.
And this went on for about 20 minutes, and I was right. I was just like, I've had enough. So I get up out of bed, and I grab the dog, the world's scariest toy cavoodle, my little guard dog Sid.
Sid, what are you going to do? Throw Sid at them? Like throwing a badminton ball.
Yeah. So I walk out the front, the light comes on. They obviously see that I've walked out the front, and I thought, well, this will intimidate them and this will scare them off, and they'll leave me in peace. And you know what they did? They turn around, they go, ooh, are we going to be on the radio?
Oh, you're notable. Oh, my gosh, they knew exactly who you were.
I know!
So were you rattled at that point?
Then I was like, oh, no, now they know who I am and what I do and where I live. Christ, I'm just going to take Sid the guard dog and go back inside.
Could have been much worse. It could have been much worse. Can you imagine how rattled would you be if they said, Jodie, I can't wait to hear you on radio. Also, when's Greg coming back in?
The biggest breaking story this town has ever seen. This is huge. It's not valuable info. This is so juicy. Jodie's Juice.
Oh boy. So Jodie's Juice, which is just a collection of all the good bits of gossip that you need. There was something on the TV last night on Channel 10 and Channel 7 which really dominated the airwaves and did some circulation around social media.
So Harry obviously is trying to flog off his new book called Spare. Now, he went hard last night with a couple of really big interviews. I want to run you through the juicy bits from both of them. So, this is the first part where he revealed that he only has cried once over his mother's death, and that was when her coffin was actually lowered into the ground, and he wasn't allowed to cry in public. Can you remember those scenes? The day after this 12-year-old kid's mother died, and they ushered him out to the public and said, go and smile and take the flowers and place them at the memorial. Like, how... You're 12. Whoever made that decision ought to be shot.
Yes, it wasn't good.
Yeah, so this is the part where he's talking about how the fact that he couldn't cry over his mother's death.
Did you cry?
No, never shed a single tear at that point. I was in shock. You know, you're 12 years old, sort of 7:30 in the morning, early. Your father comes in, sits on your bed, puts his hand on your knee and tells you there's been an accident.
I've got to say, I was watching as well, and I was watching with my wife, and we both got a little bit emotional because you start thinking about your kids and all sorts of things. It's, there's some really, really gripping moments last night.
Yeah, and there's some real irony in that he's talking about the fact that he couldn't cry because his mother died, and you start tearing up over his interview with your wife.
Yeah, there's a few mixed messages in there, isn't there?
He also said that he truly didn't believe, even after she died in the tunnel in Paris, after that horrific crash, he thought she wasn't actually dead.
You didn't believe she was dead?
For a long time. I just refused to accept that she was gone. Part of, she would never do this to us, but also part of maybe this is all part of a plan.
I mean, you really believe that maybe she had just decided to disappear for a time?
For a time, and then that she would call us and we would go and join her.
How traumatic for a youngster.
I know.
There's when they were talking as well about the conversation with the dad. Oh,
Charles, the King of England?
Charles, the King of England. I'm not up to date with my rules, it must be said. Thank you for saving me there. Blank look on your face then was extraordinary. I know. Let me straighten back up just for a second.
Just quickly, Jodie, what's his name? Charles, King of England.
The conversation that he had with the children about revealing what had happened. Harrowing.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a moment. But he also mentioned that he thought Camilla was extremely dangerous. He's really painted the picture of her as a step monster.
You wrote, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy. Mm-hmm. How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous?
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that.
I think a lot of new opinions would have been formed last night by so many different members of the royal family. There'd be some new opinions formed now on Camilla, I think.
I think so, and I think it's been a really long process for Camilla to win over the public, but it sounds like the way she's gone about it has been, according to Harry, has been fairly underhanded, hasn't it?
Yes.
What do you think of Camilla?
Well, as I said before, I'm not really a royal family enthusiast, but I always thought that she did her job. She looked nice. I don't know a hell of a lot about her, to be honest.
Oh, I'm discovering that during this segment. Don't worry about that.
Well, then can you describe her personality?
Well, no, she doesn't say anything, and that's the thing. But you couldn't describe the Queen's personality either.
Well, very prim and proper, it must be said.
Well, I know, but she barely spoke, other than, public addresses on special occasions. I couldn't tell you what the Queen was like, except for I've watched The Crown, so I've got a fairly good impression from that, whether that's accurate or not.
See, I haven't watched The Crown, but my wife is Scottish.
Don't, you'll cry.
Oh, really? Yeah. So she has a giant enthusiasm for all the stuff because it's reminds her of the homeland.
Oh, right. That's very nice. Now, Harry also detailed the moment that Charles walked into his bedroom and spoke about the death. Have you got that there? 'Cause you're looking real blank.
Yeah.
Do you speak to your dad?
We haven't spoken for quite a while. No, not recently.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
No, I can't see that happening.
Different little
Yes,
situation
so
there.
you didn't have that there at all, did you?
No. Threw it or grab that wasn't there, but that's okay.
Can we get Haysey some sort of education on the royal family at some point, please?
Yes. Well, I learned a lot last night. A hell of a lot last night. I don't think I'm the only bloke in this situation too, by the way.
Who doesn't know anything?
Feel free to text through and jump on board 0400 919 919. Are you not quite the royal family enthusiast that you thought you were, or maybe that your partner is?
Are you a man who doesn't know who the King of England is?
That was a slip of the tongue. That was a slip of the tongue. It is Prince. It's not Prince anymore. It's King.
Yes.
King Charles.
Well
There
done.
you go. It was hot yesterday, Joe. It's been a really nice day to go visit a corpse flower, must be said.
It certainly was. I mean, I thought, what do I want to do with my day today? I want to spung my head into a flower and get a real whiff of what can only be described as a mixture of rotting flesh and dead rats.
Yes. I mean, if you have a bit of a whiff, get involved this morning. Send us a text, 0400 919 919. What does it smell like? Because it did get described to us just before we went in as a dead animal. So people going really hard and saying it smells like the flesh of a dead human. You're like, wow, that's very heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, isn't it?
I'll take a dead rat, thanks.
Yeah, but I have to say the queues were unbelievable, weren't they?
Yes, it's such an iconic Adelaide thing that we queue up for things like this. Yet some other things which you would think would attract the masses don't.
No, I know. And they were ripping the PI55 out of us on the project last night, just saying, what are these people in Adelaide doing lining up to see a dead smell a dead corpse flower?
Oh.
And I can't justify it. I can't defend it.
And well done to the brave parents who took some kids. And we saw a lot of toddlers there as well yesterday waiting in the line.
And we were saying, what a hard sell, Haysey. What a real, okay, it's school holidays. I get it, parents. I get it. There's not a lot to do. It can be really hard to come up with creative different things every single day. But can you imagine waking up in the morning, I can't, and saying to my children, guys, get around it. You know what we're going to do?
Yes, what do we got, Mum?
Get your hat, get your sunscreen on. We're going to line up for 2 hours. 2 hours. And we're going to go and smell a plant that smells like a rotting animal.
Yes! Yes! Finally! I can go tell my mates at school that I smelt a corpse flower that smelt like a dead rat.
My kids would respond with something like this. Can we just go to the Big Wedgie?
Big Wedgie sounds much better.
Or Time Zone? Can we just go bowling? What are you on about, Mum? I don't want to stand in the sun for 2 hours.
The corpse flower actually texted in just before as well.
Oh, I did?
On 0400 919 919 as well, because it's been a big 48 hours.
Oh, yeah, it's been real solid.
Steve's just sitting back effectively icing his flower balls. It's been very big. Judge Jodie,
Okay.
welcome.
So the fans of the weekend show, the Jodie show, Judge Jodie, hit segment was massive. So we thought we'd bring it over into Monday to Friday. What do you reckon?
Yeah, got a gig. And so it should.
So
Went bonkers on the weekend.
This is where you can contact us with your dilemma, something that's going on in your life, and Judge Jodie, who runs this town, make no mistake about it, will tell you if it's right or wrong. Happy with that?
You're the voice of reason.
Listen to this. Hi, Jodie. My auntie unfortunately passed away at the start of 2022. Last month I realised I'm using her Foxtel login. My partner thinks I'm horrible for not cancelling it, but Foxtel is expensive. I use it at least every couple of days and I'm in the middle of a few shows.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, Auntie Joan, but White Lotus is really, really good.
Spot on.
Am I horrible? Should I stop using her account or is it harmless to stay logged in? Thanks, Kath from Seaton. My first instinct for this is Foxtel spent an inordinate amount of years ripping people off when there was no other competitor in the market. There was no Stan, there was no KO, there was no Netflix. Foxtel went, open market, we're going to charge you $110 a month for the use of our services. You know what I watched on Foxtel? 2 shows, Fox Footy and Wentworth, and that was it. $110 a month. And it was only when the competitors came into the market that they went, oh, okay, we'll reduce our rate to $38 a month. There we go. There's a massive discount for you.
Didn't KO straighten them up
Oh, didn't
on a
they?
sports front?
Yeah. I remember when we called Foxtel and said, hey, you know what, we just use it for the sport, we're going to get KO. And they had some lame response like, oh, it's only in, 4D or whatever it is, camera shot.
Yeah, and it was like they go, oh, but you get this, this, and this, and this. And I was like, I have no interest in that whatsoever. You can sell it to me, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll watch that, but you just don't.
No.
Like you get hooked on your shows.
So aside from Foxtel ripping people off, this is the moral dilemma that she's asking. Is it okay to use my dead auntie's Foxtel?
Okay. From my point of view,
What?
if you're got a full Foxtel subscription, look, I'll just put it straight out there. If you're watching blue movies in the spirit of your auntie, whilst you know your auntie is watching down on you watching blue movies with her Foxtel subscription, that's not on. If it's White Lotus or something else, that's okay.
Okay, hang on a second. Can you just rewind? I never knew there were X-rated movies
Yeah,
on
there is.
Foxtel.
Hang on, do you know why I know that?
Why?
Because EP Sean told us that.
EP Sean?
Yes,
Wow.
Sean. Sean's sweating.
No, there's an adults channel. So I've heard.
so
I've heard. I got that from the in-laws.
So he's been reliably told.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned that your in-laws are informing you about the adults
Oh, it's
channel on
because-
Foxtel.
It's because they got all of the channels recently.
Yeah. But they thought they'd impart that information. Hey, Sean, just in case you're a bit quiet this afternoon, you've got nothing to do.
Well, we do share a lot of information. Clearly too much.
I had a couple of good mates who was playing sport in South America professionally.
Of course you do.
And they gave him a phone to use.
Yeah.
And then when he got back to Australia after the season finished and the contract was up, he still had the phone. They used this particular phone for around 5 to 6 years. And then they found out it was through Vodafone, I think, that the bill was about $120,000.
Are you joking?
But they just said, oh, look, there's not much we can do about it because we didn't actually technically say, no, it's not yours anymore. They forgot about it.
Yeah, right.
It was a forgotten count. And this was years ago where you'd make international calls and it would cost you like $2 a minute.
Yeah.
But they got away with it.
But also, if you Vodafone, write that off.
Absolutely.
13 24 10, we'd love your feedback on this one. Is it okay if your auntie passes away to continue to use her Foxtel login?
Good morning to you, Gemma.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, good, thanks. Now, my opinion on this is, let's be realistic. She can't spend the money, so why can't I?
Right.
Yeah,
That's
easy.
my opinion.
And-
I think there shouldn't be any issue with it.
And also, Gemma, if Auntie Joan didn't leave Kath any money in the will, then the very least she can do is pay for her Foxtel for a month, don't you reckon?
Well, that's exactly right. And you can't really. No one else is going to delete the account. So if no one's going to delete it, it needs to be used. The money's being spent anyway. So I reckon go ahead, go use it.
Exactly right, Gemma. Thank you. You were explaining this to me, EP Sean. What happens when you die in terms of like cancelling all your payments and all that sort of stuff? Like you hear these horrible stories about banks still calling people trying to chase mortgage repayments and people are like, no, my husband died. Like, go away.
Yeah, so basically whoever's in charge of the estate, it's up to their responsibility to go through, cancel everything, notify all the banks and... Yeah, I don't know how I know this, but yeah, I did a bit of research just in case I ever need to.
There's a lot of unclaimed wills, isn't there?
Yeah, correct.
Is there?
Correct.
Yeah,
So
a
it's so
lot.
important to have your will up to date.
See, I leave all this stuff to my husband, like, and he quite often gets me to sign documents, right? And I'm like, he's like, oh, I'm just updating your life insurance. Oh, okay, mate. Oh, should I be sleeping with one eye open?
Yeah.
Righto then.
We did a wheel the other day, actually.
Did you?
Yes, got someone into our house to do a wheel. It's quite a confronting experience.
Is it an easy process?
There's a lot of questions. Oh. And for someone with a small attention span, after about 30 to 40 seconds, a small monkey playing a tambourine starts to take over my brain capacity. I just let Cara handle all that sort of stuff.
Just clapping the tambourine in your ear
He
going,
was.
one day you're going to die.
He was getting louder and louder as well.
Was it?
Yeah, started singing to his own clapping.
Let's go to Darren from Victor Harbour. Darren, is it okay to use your dead auntie's Foxtel?
Oh, I think you can, mate. You know, like if you can get away with it for as long as you can, I reckon.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, well, that's it. If you keep on going, mate, and when they find out, they cut you off, and that's it.
It sounds like it's a victimless crime, except for the people who you're actually stealing the money off.
And except for the fact that Auntie Joan has died. Someone's suffering here.
There you go. I mean, the message from Jodie and Haysey is that if you get a chance, just steal stuff. Phone's been busy this morning. Just good, solid friends of the show, 13 24 10, who just want to have a chat with us and also score Sam Smith tickets.
I've been blown away by all the support we've had this week, and I've got another call on the line. This one's just for you, Haysey. This is Justin from West Croydon.
Oh, no, I know Justin from West Croydon. Good.
Hello, Justin.
How you going?
All right, Justin, how do you know Haysey?
Long time friends. He serenaded me and my wife a long time ago at a pub. But yeah, I've been following his progress and I've been loving the show.
There you go. So you've been invested. I mean, you were a real stern SEN listener back in the day. We've recruited you over.
Yeah, you recruited me over. Now I don't have to worry about trying to get the podcast up every morning. I jump straight on over, which is good.
Very good. That's what we need.
How have you rated Haysey's performance so far, Justin?
Oh, not too bad. He's going all right after the first day or so, but I've got a request that I'd like to bring in.
Uh-oh.
If that's all right.
Yeah, go on then.
What have you got?
There's an old segment back in the day called Handsome Haysey. I was just wondering whether we could try and get that back going again.
Oh, you would go down that line.
Handsome
Haysey. He died a long time ago.
No.
Age got him.
No.
Age got him. Caught up with him bad.
What did he used to do?
Well, he used to sort of cruise around. From memory, one of the key stunts was I rode a donkey down Anzac Highway shirtless. Welcome to the radio. That's good, wasn't it? Hey, Justin, you still there?
Yep.
Hey, congratulations. We've put you in the draw for 1 can of Coke, okay? So, good luck. Yeah, things have changed a little bit in the marketplace these days.
I mean, you wouldn't get away. You would not get away with riding a donkey on air now, would you?
Should we bring it back?
Let's go shirtless?
No, thanks. Not on this flabby gut.
The biggest breaking story this town has ever seen. This is huge. It's not valuable, is it? This is so juicy.
Jodie's Juice.
Just before we get into all the salacious gossip from Harry's fight with William, I want to talk very quickly about Brooke Warren, Shane's daughter, obviously. She's taken to TikTok to speak out to thank everyone for their support over Christmas with the passing of her dad.
The tributes that everyone did on Boxing Day, being the Shane Warne test, and everyone wearing their floppy hats and think he would be so incredibly touched, as are we. But it was also really hard. It was a constant reminder that he wasn't here.
Shane Warne, one of those ones where I remember when Kobe Bryant passed away, I'll always know and remember what I was doing when you heard the news. Like I had the same thing when I was really young with Princess Diana.
Yeah. They're probably well, maybe not Kobe, really.
Yeah, I'm a massive basketball fan.
Yeah, I know, but not everyone is. That's my point.
No. Okay, fair enough.
Okay, let's rip into the royal stuff, shall we? This is unbelievable. Some of the revelations from a couple of interviews last night on Channel 7 and Channel 10. Firstly, he spoke about his fight with William. They fought at Harry's home. Harry didn't fight back. William said to him, "Hit me, you'll feel better," then apologised and said, "You don't need to tell Meg about this. Have a listen."
Through the things that he was saying, I was defending myself, and we moved from one room into the kitchen, and his frustrations were growing and growing and growing. He was shouting at me, I was shouting back at him. It wasn't nice, it wasn't pleasant at all, and he snapped, and he pushed me to the floor. I landed on the dog bowl.
You cut your back?
Yeah, I cut my back. I didn't know about it at the time. But, yeah, he apologised afterwards. It was a pretty nasty experience, but...
He asked you not to tell anybody, not to tell Megan.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have done. I didn't until she saw on my back. She goes, "What's that?"
Oh, look, I know that Prince Harry is quite a burly man and he's served and all those types of things, but just just how beautiful the English accent is. He said, "Hit me," and I imagine Harry hitting him, but it's open-handed and it's a gentle, lovely, gorgeous, caressing slap that wouldn't hurt a fly.
He went up to his bedroom and he got a leather glove and he slapped him with the... Now, this is a bit more serious. This is about Harry being asked if he wanted to see the Queen's body. Firstly, this was unbelievable. The whole family got on a private jet when they learnt that she was on the cusp of death, and they didn't invite him. They didn't invite him and Meg to jump on the plane and come with the rest of the family. And so by the time he got there by a car, she had passed away. And then they said to her, "Do you want to go and see your grandma's body?" And he thought about it and he said, "Yeah, I want to go and say goodbye."
I walked into the hall and my aunt was there to greet me, and she asked me if I wanted to see her. I thought about it for about 5 seconds, thinking, is this a good idea? And I was like, you know what, you can do this. You need to say goodbye. So I went upstairs, took my jacket off, and walked in and just spent some time with her alone.
Where was she?
She was in her bedroom. I was really happy for her because she'd finished life, she'd completed life, and her husband was waiting for her, and the two of them were buried together.
It's a really, really heavy part of the interview.
Isn't it? And I thought about it because I was given the option to see my grandmother once she passed away, and it was a good week after she'd passed. And I regret it to this day because I don't want to remember my nan like that, you know. So it's really interesting. But I guess if she had just freshly passed away, it would have been a little bit different. He was also asked if he speaks to his dad. That's King Charles, by the way. You couldn't remember his name earlier in the show. It's King Charles.
King Chuck.
Do you speak to your dad?
We haven't spoken for quite a while. No, not recently.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family?
No, I can't see that happening.
That's sad. That is really sad. Above everything else, it's a genuine family, and so many families go things like this. This is just elevated 1,000 times more because it's in the public eye, but this is a family in dismay.
Piers Morgan, who hates Meghan, hates her, just takes every single opportunity to whack her senseless. He's come out with a tweet, or a couple of tweets overnight. He said, "Harry is an unconscious village idiot. Prince Privacies sold them all down the river for a gazillion pieces of treacherous silver. A truly staggering betrayal." What is this man's just need to whack Harry and Meghan senseless? Like, all that hate inside of Piers says more about Piers than it says about anyone else, don't you reckon?
Well, Piers was, the famous story was that he, didn't he try and go on a date with her, and she said no?
She said no. He said,
didn't he turn?
This is classic. Oh, I didn't want to shag her anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want you anyway. Next. No, it doesn't work like that, Piers.
No.
Another interesting thing last night came from it was, and I found this unbelievable, that Prince Harry was summoned to shave.
Yeah.
And didn't want to do it. For an event. It was
for his wedding.
For his wedding. So he was summoned to shave.
Thank you, Abby, for pointing out the obvious to our friend Haysey here.
Yes, well, could have been there up to all sorts of different events. So you were supposed to be cleanly shaven. Is that the deal? Or did you part of the royal family? And Prince Harry went the other way.
Right, so he didn't do it.
Well, he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, right.
Because he's got this beautiful half-mast beard.
Yeah, with a real tinge of ginger about it, doesn't it?
So we want to put it out there. 13-24-10. Is it wrong to command a wedding party to groom a particular way?
Well, I know someone in this room did exactly that. Am I right?
I know them too. I mean, what an absolute groom or bridezilla. Who would do such a thing?
Groomzilla?
Yeah.
You demanded your wedding party get rid of all their facial hair.
Pretty much. We'll get to it next. We'll have to take a call from you as well, 13-24-10.
That's a real interesting revelation just then. Prince Willie told Prince Harry that he had to shave his beard off for his wedding. And I went, well, that's outrageous. And then numbnuts over here.
Numbnuts. Don't call EP Sean numbnuts.
No, I'm not.
Fair.
I'm looking squarely at you. Did you or did you not? You stand accused, Groomzilla, of making your groomsmen shave off their beards for your wedding.
Stand accused. Are we back onto Judge Jodie? What's going on here? Calm down. Yes, I did. I tried to tell my groomsmen that they should be clean shaven. And it stems from, I was always brought up from my father. He's not an outrageous disciplinarian or anything, but he said you should always be clean shaven, particularly in a public situation. And also, I didn't mention this bit.
Here you go.
So I have little spots of alopecia on me, and in particular on my face.
Right.
So even if I wanted to, I can't grow a beard because there's genuine patches missing throughout it. I got a patch in the middle of my chin at the moment. I've got patches all over my neck, and I think a patch on the left side of my face.
So this just sounds like beard envy. Like, this is a clear case of you being jealous of the fact that all your groomsmen can grow beards. Did any of your groomsmen have decent beards?
Yes, they did, absolutely. One bloke in particular, a guy by the name of, we won't name him fully, we'll call him Jimmy M or Jay Micklejohn. He was, he had a gorgeous beard and he shaved it off. One bloke in particular, though, didn't, but he got away with it because he's the best looking bloke I know.
Oh, right, okay.
Hang on, Sean, you've been in this situation as well. You've been on the end of a bit of a groomzilla.
Yeah, well, I just shaved.
Scenario.
But the worst part was all groomsmen had beards, all had to get a cutthroat shave in the morning, but literally in all the photos we're all sort of still bleeding from the cutthroat. Yeah, the groom's loving it, but the poor groomsmen aren't.
They're actually outraged on behalf of your groomsmen on this one. Let's go to the phones. Aidan from Semaphore. Haysey telling his groomsmen to shave off their beards, right or wrong?
Oh, definitely wrong. I mean, we don't all have chiselled, hazy jawlines. Some of us need our beards.
Yeah, that's a lovely compliment from Aidan. You could just reverse it and say we don't all have patchy alopecia where our facial hair is falling out. So there you go. It goes both ways.
Take a sip of your coffee. Settle into your seats. It makes me feel so good. The morning you've all been waiting for. Adelaide's new favourite breakfast show, Jodie and Haysey. Right here where I wanna be. On Adelaide's Nova 919.
Sam Smith tickets to give to you, the last batch for today, just before 9 o'clock. That is coming up, so get ready, 13 24 10. Feedback's good though, Jodes. Feedback is good. You just got to scout around whether it's good or bad. Yesterday, via the advertiser, looked at a few of the comments.
Yeah.
Some really nice comments about you.
Oh, I don't look at those. Well, I get very scared to look at comments on the advertising website. They said some nice things about us, though, yesterday. So
Some nice things about you. Saw one particular comment about me that said that this bloke should be speaking at a eulogy. He was a good man. A wise man.
What? I don't even understand that comment. I can give you some feedback, though. You know how, like, for women, we refer to it as resting biatch face? You have behind the panel, because you push all the buttons, what I'd like to describe as resting confused face. It's just permanently, what's going on?
Resting confused AF face, which is not good.
No.
Which doesn't give you hope, does it?
It gives me and EP Sean zero confidence that you know what you're doing behind there.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Feedback, 13 24 10. Good morning to you, Lee from Norwood. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Going very well, thanks. Just give it to us straight. Good or bad, we don't mind. We'll take it.
Loving the show, guys. You're doing a great job. And I just want to say, fantastic vibes, great music, and you just set us up for the day. So, very wrapped. Thank you.
Made me feel really good. Thank
Very
you.
nice.
God.
So much sleep.
Maybe I'll get Lee behind the panel because I've got more confidence in her.
Yes. More calls like that, please. And of course, get yourself on the air for to get yourself in the draw for Nova's free for 23. That number is 13 24 10.
Well, Haysey, the phone's been running hot this morning again, and I think this might be a call worth taking. Hello, Nova.
Yeah, good morning, Jodie. It's Pete Macijauskas here. Good morning, Haysey.
Here you go, the Premier.
Oh,
that's top shelf.
Well, my wife had you guys on the radio yesterday morning when we popped in the car, and I thought, I should call in and congratulate you on your first show yesterday. I meant to call in yesterday morning, but missed out on it, so I thought I'd get around it this morning and to say great job and welcome to Breakfast Radio as a duo.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I had a real dilemma when they offered me this job, Premier, because that means I can no longer go to my early gym session and just check you out doing your arm weights and your ab crunches.
Yeah, you're going to have to change up your routine, but
yeah.
I think there's plenty of people doing that across the state at the beginning of the new year.
Just on that as well, Premier, I mean, there's two types of people at the gym. There's ones who like to really concentrate on developing their core strength, and then there's the others who like to really focus on developing beach weights, etc. Which camp do you sit in?
Yeah, I've got to work on the legs, Haysey. I reckon I've got spaghetti legs at the footy club, so maybe I've got to get around to that.
Oh, dear. And I have to say, a little insight for you, Premier, too. I see you at a lot of press conferences for Channel 10, and Haysey, the most exciting moment for us as a journalist is when the Premier goes, That's a good question, Jodie. There's much punching of the air when that happens.
I'll do it more. I'll do it more often for you, Jodie, if it makes it work.
Hey, Premier, just in terms of some of the things that are coming to South Australia in 2023. So Adelaide International, the Tour Down Under, Adelaide Fringe, WOMAD, Adelaide Motorsport Festival, inaugural AFL Gather Round, Live Golf, Tasting Australia, Ampol State of Origin, Exhibition of Freedom Diego, FIFA Women's World Cup, Illuminate Adelaide and the Adelaide 500 with Robbie Williams. Is that it?
It's a packed schedule. And we were really deliberate about this, Hazy, because we've got to get that tourism sector back on its feet after a couple of rough years, particularly in hospitality as well. And we want people to come to South Australia. Our research shows that when people come, they often come back a second time. So you're just going to get people over the border in that first instance. And, you know, all of those events that we've put together in a calendar, in a scheduled way and in a deliberate way, because each event attracts a different market, we're really bullish about. And it's all about, you know, putting our hand up as a state and being proud of what we've got to offer.
And I have to say, when you announced the gather round alongside Gil McLaughlin there, the head of the AFL, you were like a child in a candy shop.
Well, I was relieved as much as anything, Jodie, because we put in a bit of effort and we knew that New South Wales were fighting hard for it. And we've heard that they put more money on the table. But our pitch was just around the fact that South Australians show up and we get behind these sorts of events and that we can offer the AFL something that Sydney can't. We've already got figures from the AFL showing that of all the tickets sold, somewhere in the order of over 30% of them are from interstate visitors, which is exactly where we want to be.
Well, Premier, thank you so much for phoning in. We are really pleased that you did that, and do a few bicycle crunches for me. You're going to have to do some extra.
Well, good luck across the year, and I wish you all the best, and I'll hopefully talk soon.
Beautiful. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Jodes, the phones have been very, very busy this morning on 1324. I think I know why.
Because we're super popular already?
Yeah, maybe. Everyone just wants to chat.
Yeah, that's it. Erica from Christie Downs, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our little show.
Lovely to be here with you guys.
Have you had a little tune in this morning?
Yes, I have. I was just driving on my way to drop my two little boys off to childcare this morning.
Very nice.
Okay.
How good's the childcare drop-off when you actually get your child and you walk
Beautiful.
away and you just punch in the air, Erica? How good is it?
It is beautiful. Do miss them through the day, but yes, well needed to have the house clean and do what you need to.
Oh, well, great to chat to you, Erica. Enjoy the rest of your day.
So mean. Erica, you wouldn't happen to be after some Sam Smith tickets, would you?
I would do about anything. I have seen Sam Smith here once, and me and my partner have absolutely adored him ever since. So I would do absolutely anything to get tickets to go see him again.
What do we want to make Erica do then? Does your house need cleaning?
Happily.
Can we promise? Let's promise a friendship. That's all I'm looking for, Erica.
Done.
Jump on board.
I'm more than happy to have extra friends in my life. That would be amazing.
Well, Erica, consider us your new friends because you're off to Sam Smith.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. How good. At Darrenburg as well. I mean, what an iconic place to hear one of the most iconic artists on the planet.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay.
You have no idea how much this means.
No worries, Erica. Make sure you come and say hi.
We definitely will.
Beautiful.